Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to another live this morning and hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. I hope you've had your vitamin C and the real one. And let's say hello to a few friends as they get their notifications. Mike from Norland and Brahim, 1 and 2. And Brahim, are you still on your holidays? Mary, Norwich, good morning. Sandy, 2 Sandys in a row. Kate from Tirana and Wendy from Wasaga. And Brahim had given me hearts, meaning, hi, Rita. And 2 Ritas in a row. Come on. I can't get over it. Janice, how are you? Andrea from the Kidneys of Canada. Wendy from Markham. And Carol Ann, good morning. Marina from Deer Lake. Deb, good morning from Motown. Georgie from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Nick from our staff. Lori and Ryan from Sarasota, Florida. Bonnie, Little Britain. Sharon from Kansas. Tina, how are you? And Lynn from Sprucedale. Maria from Ottawa. Fran from Orangeville. Cecilia, Manitoulin Island. Marcia from Mexico. Rosalinda from the Kidneys too. Wanda from Virginia. Keith, good morning. Yalound, good morning. Everyone matters, Yalound says. Anne, Beverly, and someone, I think that's Milika from Stouffville, and Nina, and Donna, and a couple more. Let's get going on those questions. Francis, how are you? Edith from Nova Scotia. Frida, good morning. And Brahim says he's still in Oregon. Lots of, Margie, how are you? Marilyn. And Joanne from Delhi. Hi. Rose. Adeline. 2 more. Nativity. TGIF. Diane, Saskatchewan. And Elaine, St. John's, Newfoundland. I lied. We're going to do more than that. Len and Judy, how are you from Edmonton? You guys, we appreciate you. Darlene from South Carolina. Carol, how are you? Judy. And what does that say? Sakura? David from Ridgeway. Bruno. Okay, let's get to the questions. If Karen is asking, if I use a flavored electrolyte powder, does it still count as water? Absolutely it does, okay? I like electrolytes, okay? A lot of people are just very low in electrolytes. I like salt, okay? Salt your water. Himalayan salt, because it has all those minerals in it. You have an electrolyte drink by just adding that. But you can get those electrolyte powders. Don't add any sugar. And usually if they're flavored, a good electrolyte powder is usually flavored by, if it is, stevia. I like electrolytes. I really do. I talk about that a lot. You need electrolytes. So many people are dehydrated. And good question. But sure, it counts as water. I had electrolytes this morning in my water. Okay. And then I had my coffee. I think somebody was asking. Let me just see. I think it's Brenda. Why don't we answer that? Well, that's about... let me just see if there's someone else that asked about water. I thought I read something, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Yeah, okay. I'm wrong, but let's do Brenda anyways. Is all coffee equal? It's a good question, Brenda. You guys, I want you to ask questions. It's a good question. No, not all coffee is equal, but listen, okay? Because you mentioned drinking coffee. When? Brenda, I never talk about coffee. I do? I guess. And you guys, some of you are new to this program, okay? But many, many, many of you have been listening to me for a lot of years, and even my radio years before podcasting. I didn't even know what podcasting was. But I was a radio guy with a radio show and a phone-in show. And a lot of you folks know me from then. Admit one thing. Has Dr. Martin been consistent about coffee? Always, always, always saying coffee is the real vitamin C and that it is good for you. Okay? Consistent. Way before coffee was as popular as it is today. I was on coffee's side. Always. I never believed for a minute that coffee was bad for you, because when I studied coffee, it's just the bean. You realize it's God's gift to humanity. What a bean. 1,000 phytonutrients, powerful antioxidants in coffee. It is so good for you. Now, okay? So Brenda's asking the question. With that little bit of a diatribe, is all coffee created equal? No. In life, Brenda, there's good, better, best. Okay? Good, better, best. Okay? Now, there are some pretty cheap brands of coffee on the market. Does it matter much? I also thought coffee depletes some vitamins. No, it doesn't. Okay? That is fake news. It doesn't deplete vitamin. It increases your vitamins. It's the real vitamin C, Brenda. And I know there's a lot of stuff. Don't drink coffee. Caffeine's no good for you. It's acidic. It is a diuretic. No, it's not. Now, look, I don't want you to drink 20 cups of coffee in a day. And coffee does not replace water. Okay? Coffee doesn't replace water. It's not for hydrating you. Coffee is a real vitamin drink. That's why on the reset, Brenda, I want people to drink water and coffee and really nothing else. Nothing else. I don't want any juice. I don't want any crap on that reset. Okay, you can have a tea. But tea's not coffee. Okay, tea's all right, but it's not coffee. Okay? So yes, there's better, a good, better, best. That's the way I operate. Okay? Good, any coffee. Decaf is good. Best, decaf is when it's Swiss water filtrated. No chemicals, no nothing. That's the best decaf. Okay? Coffee's good. Any brand. Dark roast has probably got more antioxidants in it. So you get better. Okay? A dark roast is better. But look, coffee is, a lot of it is just taste. And that's why I don't want you to worry about it too much. And what you don't do with coffee is add sugar. And I don't like those artificial sweeteners either. You want to put a little stevia in your coffee? Okay. I drink mine black. I used to, when I was a kid, I started drinking coffee. I think I was 14 years old. My grandma, mom wouldn't let me drink it, but my grandma never said no. And I used to put a lot of sugar in it. It smelled so good. When my grandmother percolated her coffee, I wanted some. But I didn't like it at first without sugar. But guys, I haven't had sugar in my coffee for over 50 years. And I've been drinking coffee black for over 20 years. Used to put a little cream in there, half a cream. And then I went to the dark side and I drink it black. And now you can't put any cream even near me in coffee. I won't drink it. I just like my coffee black. And the best coffee, Brenda, is Good For Me coffee. It's the best bean. We've had it tested. It is it is the best bean available in the world is Good For Me coffee. Okay? We searched the world for the best coffee. And it's the best. But I like all coffee. Okay? All coffee. It's good for you, Brenda. And don't believe this nonsense about diuretic. It's nonsense. Okay, but don't drink 20 of them. The sweet spot of coffee is for a day. Okay. Lori, how long can a person go without solid food? Well, some people never eat solid food if they can't swallow. If they've lost that either after a stroke or whatever, you can live forever on pureed or bone broth or look. I don't recommend that. But if you have all your vitamins, that's why bone broth is so good as a shake. I have bone broth shake all the time with collagen protein. That's what bone broth is. Plus all the wonderful things in it, like L-glutamine and all the things that go with bone broth. You can live forever on that. Okay? I don't know why anybody would want to, but if they had to, they could go forever on it. It's got all your vitamins. Okay? And, okay. Robin, how do you lower your ApoB? Robin, you just gave me a migraine. No, that's a good question. Why do you want to lower it? Okay? Why do you want to lower ApoB? God, you know what Robin's talking about there? Talking about cholesterol. And now, the pharmaceutical companies are unbelievable marketers, okay? And where they go first is not to you. They go to the physicians. And now there's some question marks. Social media, a lot of it is garbage, but there's some good stuff on there, including me. Okay? But now you get a lot of physicians that are questioning the LDL being the boogeyman, the bad guy, and yada, yada, yada. Cholesterol bad, LDL bad, cholesterol, and bad cholesterol is going to kill you and give you a heart attack, okay? And there's a lot of physicians, you know what, I'm not convinced about that anymore. So you know what the pharmaceutical industry did? I watched them do it. We better get into the weeds. You know what they did? Yeah, but what about those small particles of cholesterol? The small particles, ApoA and B. And to me, it's a smoke screen. To me, it's smoke and mirrors. Like magic. Now they want to lower something else with statin drugs. What about, Dr. Martin, my ApoB B, small particle cholesterol. Well, Robin, why do you want to lower cholesterol? Why is APO, why are the small particles now bad guys? I don't buy it. I watched them do it. I was asked this question. If you go on Dave Palumbo on YouTube, Muscle RX, I did a whole almost an hour interview on cholesterol and the sham that it is. I don't know why you would want to lower cholesterol. Why do you want to lower it? You don't need to lower it because it has nothing to do with heart disease. It's like blaming the police because they're at the crime scene. Blaming the firemen because they're there to put out the fire. Of course cholesterol is going to be in your blood. Your body makes cholesterol. 85% of it comes from God. And then he asks you to eat 15% of it. And that is what you should contribute. And if you don't, you're not going to die, but you're not going to be as healthy. You want cholesterol in your body. And I've taught for years what clogs up your arteries? Triglycerides, not cholesterol. You want, and the two markers I look at, I want to know what your triglycerides are. Those are fat balls in your blood. And I want to know what your HDL cholesterol, because those are the ones that go through your blood vessels and hitch their wagon to those triglycerides to bring them back. I know that every day I'm going to get asked this question over and over. I know it. It's so ingrained into medicine's thinking that cholesterol is the boogeyman, and now they've gotten into the weeds. It's a diversion. It's smoke and mirrors. In my opinion, it just ain't true. It's not what causes heart disease. So why do you want to lower it, Robin? Okay? And I'm not blaming you. I'm happy you asked me that question because I want to be able to explain it over and over and over again. Am I confident that medicine is going to get away from cholesterol? Nope. I'm not confident. There's too much money in statin drugs. There's just too much money in it. And so they went into the weeds. They're marketing geniuses. You got to give them high five. They are so smart. And I get this asked all the time. Well, Dr. Martin, what about small particle cholesterol? And it gives me a migraine. But I'm happy to answer your question. Look, guys, ask questions. That's how you get information. That's how you're going to hear the other side of it. Because a lot of times you never hear the other side. And, okay, Kim, do phytoestrogens act the same as the hormonal estrogen to the body? Pretty well. Your body sees them. Phytoestrogens. Well, look, there's xenoestrogens and phytoestrogens. So I was thinking more xenoestrogen. Do phytoestrogens act the same way as hormonal estrogen to the body? No, not completely, okay? Because you're asking about chickpeas. Well, look, you could have a few chickpeas. It ain't going to kill you. But when you got too much estrogen, I don't want you eating chickpeas, okay? Now, I use phytoestrogens. okay, in a menopausal formula, but it's used more to balance your hormones than to increase your estrogen. It doesn't do it like a xenoestrogen will. But I wouldn't live on chickpeas. I wouldn't live on them, especially if you got estrogen dominance. But they would not act, a phytoestrogen does not act in the same way that a xenoestrogen, those chemicals. Xenoestrogens are the chemicals in your kitchen, almost in everything, in microplastics and you name it. It's in the water, it's in the atmosphere, it's everywhere. Good luck trying to get rid of it completely, but those are more dangerous than a phytoestrogen. Okay? Good question. I like that. Lisa, pancreatic insufficiency. Okay, what's that mean? Okay? If you look at what diabetes is, right, what is diabetes? It really is a pancreatic insufficiency. Okay? And because now your body has trouble making insulin. You used it so much that you wore it out. And you could get a pancreatic, but I know what they mean by pancreatic insufficiency. They really mean the pancreatic enzymes that your pancreas produces. One of the reasons that I created our digestive enzymes are for pancreatic insufficiency. Okay, those pancreatic enzymes like lipase and amylase and protease. And by the way, I would ask anyone that cares, compare our digestive enzymes to anything on the market. And if you find anything that has 14 different enzymes in it, including oil of oregano in our pancreatic enzyme, and the reason I do that is for the condition of SIFO, sometimes called SIBO, small intestine fungus overgrowth, and the world out there calls it SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. It's bacteria according to the world, but I know better. It's actually fungus that gets in there. It's a yeast. And that's why you get so much bloating and things like that. So pancreatic insufficiency, do the reset. I like that. And looking for dietary tips. Well, look, I mean, keep here. One of the best things you can do, Lisa, is to make sure your stomach is as acidic as it can be. So I like apple cider vinegar. I like some balsamic vinegar. I do. Vinegar makes your stomach more acidic. That's what you want. And your pancreas will help. You will help it by doing the reset because now you're not using insulin. Now there's two ends to your pancreas. And one is more for enzymes and the other side is more for insulin. But you help the whole pancreas by doing the reset. I love these questions. Janet, what are your thoughts on magnesium L-threonate? Okay. Now, here's magnesium. I love magnesium. Okay. I do. I've been talking about magnesium ever since the cows came home. Okay. For a long time. I've been around a long time. 50 years in natural medicine. Okay, now, magnesium. Rule of thumb, most people are short of it. You absolutely need magnesium. And it's no longer in the soil. And most medications will deplete you of magnesium. Okay, we just don't get enough of it. So I talk about it a lot, right? It's not in the soil, so if it's not in the soil, not going to be in the plants or the food that we eat generally. Okay? Just not going to get a lot of magnesium from it. This is why I talk about supplementing with magnesium. Here's the magnesium I love. Citrate. I talked about it for 50 years. Magnesium citrate. And when you see ATE at the end of a word on magnesium, it means that it's been chelated. Chelated is the word like bitten off. Okay? What is chelated? Means that it's been bitten off and now it's bioavailable. It's your body takes it in better if it's in the form of ATE at the end. Magnesium citrate. Magnesium biglycinate. Okay? When you have citrate biglycinate, you have everything you need in magnesium. Okay? I take both, by the way. Okay? Now, the problem with citrate for some people, because citrate, magnesium citrate is so good for your bowel. It helps the peristalsis in your bowel. So someone that has a sluggish thyroid and they suffer from constipation, I like magnesium citrate. To me, it covers almost all your bases. But some people say, Doc, that bothers my bowel. Thus, biglycinate. Biglycinate crosses the blood-brain barrier. Biglycinate helps you sleep. So does citrate. They're 8. Magnesium biglycinate. Now, because I got a brain camp. Who asked me the questions? Janet. Janet, magnesium 3-onate. It's an 8. It's good. This was one that has a patent on it. It crosses the blood-brain barrier. But so does magnesium biglycinate. Now, I like 3-onate. I don't care. I like it. It's a magnesium. It's a chelated magnesium. The problem is it's very expensive. And I just don't know if you're going to get any more bang for the buck by taking that than taking biglycinate. I like 3-onate. I've read the studies on it. I like it. Okay? But I think you get the same benefits from magnesium biglycinate and magnesium citrate. Okay? Thanks for the question, Janet. And she was asking for brain fog. Yeah? Well, biglycinate will do that too. Crosses the blood-brain barrier. Okay, Joni, when is the best time to check your blood pressure during the day? Well, look, your blood pressure should be a little bit up in the morning because cortisol will elevate your blood pressure as you wake up. Your blood pressure should be, when you're sleeping, should be at its lowest. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Don't take it in your doctor's office because a lot of people, I used to see this a lot. Even though I never wore a white coat, you know, the white coat syndrome, people go into their doctor's office and their blood pressure goes up. They're nervous. They're scared. So don't take your blood pressure when you get scared, okay? Because it's just normal. Your blood pressure is going to go up. Let me just say something about blood pressure too. And you know what? To answer your question, Joni, I don't care when you take it. Just don't take it every 5 minutes. I've had people come into the office and they got a book on their blood pressure. Hey, doc, you want to read my book? No. You don't? I got every date and I measured my blood pressure. I said, you're giving me high blood pressure by giving me your book. Like, I don't want to read it. I don't care. Look, I don't want you to have high blood pressure. But you're making yourself sick by taking your blood pressure every 5 minutes. Why are you doing that? Okay? Now, another thing. When you look at your blood pressure, this is really important. Okay? Because you have to understand, I've been around for 50 years. Now they changed the goalpost, if you know what I mean. What used to be high blood pressure now they've made it where the numbers have changed. Oh, because they want to sell more medication. Look, don't get me wrong. I don't want you to have high blood pressure. One of the biggest things in high blood pressure is sugar, because sugar affects the kidneys, and the kidneys in the presence of sugar will hold on to salt. It's not salt the problem, it's sugar that's the problem with blood pressure. Okay? And when you look at numbers, okay, if your bottom number, okay, if your diastolic is not above 90, you don't have high blood pressure. I'm not saying you don't look at the first number, but it's that second number, to me, is the key. I think a lot of people, they are on high blood pressure medication when they don't need them. Now, I'm not telling you, I don't tell individuals, I'm not in practice anymore, I can't monitor it for you, I'm just telling you some rules of thumb. And a lot of people, by the way, we talked about this earlier in the program, have high blood pressure because they're dehydrated. You need water. You need water. And a lot of people, because they don't have a light on the top of their head telling them they're dehydrated, they can get high blood pressure from that. It really makes an effect on the kidneys. And kidneys have a big, big say in your blood pressure. Okay? So, good questions this morning. We love you dearly. Okay. I'm probably going to have to do question and answer Monday. Janelle, wondering if you can overdo probiotic. Nope. I read something the other day, just on numbers, okay? If you spent, I think it was $1,000 or $2,000 a day. Okay? If you spent from the time of Jesus Christ, if you spent, $1,000 a day, might have even been $2,000. I got to look it up again. I forget. You still wouldn't get to $1 trillion. You wouldn't have spent $1 trillion yet. What? So when someone says they're a billionaire, that's a lot of money. When governments, in Canada, we hit $1 trillion in debt. And we're 10 times smaller than the American population. We're at $1 trillion. And America's at what, 34 trillion in debt? How the heck do you spend that kind of money? Anyway, so when you look at bacteria, because this is asking a very good question, Janelle. Can I overdo probiotics? Nope. It would be impossible. Okay? Because you got trillions of bacteria in your body. Not billions, trillions. And the difference between billion and trillion is eternity in terms of numbers. Okay? Because when we were a kid, when I was a kid, you're a millionaire? What? I can't even think of how much money $1 million was. Okay? When I was a kid. $1 million. I think my dad said it one time. That person's a millionaire. And I go, what? Holy moly! How can you get $1 million? And now they're called what? Billionaires. Elon Musk and others. Okay? They're billionaire. Billion. Holy moly. Yeah, but they're not trillionaires. Is that coming to a theater near you? Maybe. But, guys, you have no idea how much money that is. Okay? And that's the same thing with your bacteria in your body. You can't see them. They're microscopic. But you got trillions of bacteria. They're everywhere, man. Okay, mostly in your gut, but you got trillions. So when you take a probiotic, which I highly recommend, you want to replenish, re-nourish, regenerate your gut, your microbiome. Yeah, you ain't going to overdo it. That I guarantee you. You just can't overdo it. You can underdo it, but you can't overdo it. Okay? You just got to understand numbers. And I don't know much about numbers, but I know something. Okay? Okay. Okay, let me stop there. And we love you guys. You know that. And, you got questions, send them in. We love questions, okay? I'm so used to it. I had a radio show. And it was question and answer. It was live. And it was open line. Ask you. I didn't see the questions ahead of time. Okay. Here's what they're asking. So sometimes I said, I don't know. You're asking me something I don't know. I'll find out, but I don't know. Because it was live. Okay, guys, we love you. We'll talk to you soon.